You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what's going on? There's about 20,000 of you guys on the line today. Oh my goodness, you're gonna break the internet. But yo, check it out. I received an email about, someone's being absolutely too busy to focus on their dreams and their cause and their mission. So I just want to tell you, when you say you are too busy to do something, what does that really mean? It means you have given priority for whatever reason to something else. If a large speeding truck was heading right towards you, would you be too busy to get out of the way? Of course you wouldn't be too busy to jump to safety. Think about it. Because for that moment, that getting out of the way would be your top priority, I would hope. Are you frustrated because you always seem to be too busy to give time and attention to those things that truly matter? That sense of frustration is attempting to tell you something. Think for a moment about the areas of your life you value and treasure the most. If you're too busy to give time to them, then ask yourself, what you're so busy doing and why? It's a great excuse sometimes to say you're too busy. I mean, I say it all the time. Well, not all the time, but a few times, especially when people are bugging me. Too busy. But a much better approach is to make time in your life for what's most important. Instead of bragging it or complaining about how busy you are, consider the ways you fill your time. Make the commitment to do less of what doesn't matter and more what does. And then come back and ask yourself, are you too busy? All right.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, it feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos and starseeds, and 2 times for my people who are vegans. We are averaging over 34,000 plus listeners, and we've been at this for 3 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we're still growing, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on the show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. And with that, hello out there, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Vigilantes Radio. Thank you again, as always, for tuning in and being a part of our audience family. You know the number to dial. It's 701-801 9813 to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from my website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Scroll over to the Vigilantes Radio tab and slap that Go Live button, and you'll be right here live in the mix with all of us or in the chat room. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here. And as always, all episodes are available for free download. You can grab that from Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, the app called Podcast Addict, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
Well, I don't want to keep 20,000 of you guys waiting any longer. You're not here for Dini. No, you have to be here for our guests, I would assume. So let's go ahead and dive deep into this interview. Today's interview is the Tao Interview, and I am your host, Dini-Mussolini. So Vigilantes Radio interviews go beyond the music, the books, the movies, the businesses, and into the minds of the artists and people who created. From researching our special invited guests, relentlessly mining for details, and listening to everything we can, our interviews are designed to bring out the best answers possible through thought-provoking questions that have real substance. Better believe it, baby. So, a sincere, warm welcome to Tao to our show this afternoon. We will have an absolutely amazing time talking with him about his new single, Same Page, his Miami background, and maybe some conversations about Eminem. Point being, I'm sure he got a lot of incredible things to say here, and I don't want to give too much away in this intro. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome him to our show. Tao, you are now live in the mix with all of us. How is it going, and how are you feeling?
Hey man, what's going on? I'm good.
Got it. Great. It's great, man. Shall we dive deep into this interview?
Most definitely.
All right, man. Right off the bat, Eminem, which I think is the greatest of all time. He's listed as your inspiration, and we all know he's a thoughtful writer, great performer, and overall the rap god of hip-hop. With someone that great as your inspiration, lyrics have to be very important to you. But what we want to know is how important is expressing yourself, your emotions, and your passions in these songs that you write.
It's very important, honestly, because if you don't have nothing to say in your music, to me, it's like what you talking about, you know? So I like to put forth an effort, all my feelings into each and one of my songs, whether it's a party song or anything, you know? I just do what I do.
Right. Okay. So I take it that you're either working on an album or an album is already complete. But please tell our listeners what it's like for you to assemble a new project, you know, gathering all the right beats, the producers, the features, the legal stuff, and, you know, having to gather just a whole bunch of songs and cohesiveness for this brand new album. Believe me, for those that don't already know what it's like, you'll be surprised as just how much needs to happen for all of it to take shape.
Most definitely. To be honest, that's actually the fun part, but it does require a lot of work. It does. Day and night, you know, back and forth to the studio, you know, picking and choosing certain type of beats that go here and there, you know, a lot of writing. You know, it's a big process, but it's also fun. At least for me, I love it.
It's great, man. And I don't think you have a title yet. Is that correct?
Yeah, not yet. And everything's coming soon. You know, summertime's here. Everything's dropping pretty soon.
All right. So can you give us some details about the new album? Like what's going to be on it, what kind of features, producers, you know, stuff like that.
You know, right now I got one producer, Silver Fox. He's actually my father as well. He's gonna be my main producer. And I have at least 2 features on there, and it's just gonna be mainly party and, you know, sexy songs, basically for the ladies and everything. You feel me? So I got everything going on.
It's dropping this summer.
Dropping this summer.
Oh man, that'll be perfect. Party music, sexy songs. I'm sure, the ladies getting the bodies right for the summer, I think it's a great time to drop something like that. Yeah, definitely. So I'm not sure if you have mixtapes on the market or other albums, and if so, in comparison to the music like that you're about to release as a solo artist, how is it similar or different from what we've heard in the past from you?
Right now, I haven't released anything other than that. Right now, publicly, I've been working on everything silently. Being very, very particular with what I put out. So right now, I'm moving like a chess game. I move very, very cool right now.
Yeah. I got you. So this is your first go round, and you're going at it by dropping an album. Like, wow, man, how much pressure are you putting on yourself for dropping this?
I mean, I don't really feel the pressure. I just do it. I just do it. Just get ready. Just gather everything. You make what you got to do, and then you got to get up and you got to do it.
Man, I wish I had that much confidence when it was my turn to drop my first album. Like, I had so much pressure, man. I pushed it back, man. Like, Drake had dropped a few months before that, so I pushed it back. And it was just crazy because it was something similar to what he does. And we'll get into that another day. But
definitely.
Yeah, he basically stole my blueprint. But anyway, all right, this is about you. Okay, so rap is certainly one of the oldest genres and has survived years and years of being under the surface and sometimes above the surface. It flip-flops with each generation. And I'm guessing, but sometimes it doesn't get its due recognition in mainstream. Always popular enough, though, to retain a large fan base of people that love it and make tons of money. But let's face it, Tao, when it comes to pop culture, people have to dig a lot harder to find music like rap than, say, a pop or a rock song that's constantly on the Billboard charts. Perhaps that's just my perception from over here in Mississippi, but I suspect highly that it isn't. I'm sure rap floats beneath the surface in almost every area on the earth. So you tell us, Tao, in your opinion, man, does rap have a harder time getting the recognition it deserves compared to other genres?
Honestly, I would say yeah. Yeah, it kind of does. Because it's millions and billions of people out here who have that gift.
Yeah.
But, what makes them different? So everybody comes with a different sound, a different look, but it's got to be one thing that makes you different, that makes other people want to like you, and there's different crowds and it's, different strokes for different folks out here. You just got to find your wave, and you gotta jump on that. You got to make it do what it do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So let's elaborate on that a little bit. Like, what does it take for a rap artist or a hip-hop group to break into mainstream?
Man, work. A lot of work. It does not come easy at all. You gotta push yourself. If you think you can wake up the next morning and just say, "Hey, I'm just break through," I mean, nah, they don't go like that. You got to really push yourself. You got to really make it happen. You got to get out here. You got to network. You got to, because it is millions and billions of people out here trying the same thing you're doing. You're not the only one,
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make it happen. You got to push. You got to work harder than the next man.
Definitely. And is that something that you're going for your own music, or would that potentially harm the artistic aspect of what you're trying to do?
No, it's just basically everything. I mean, I'm doing the same thing. I'm pushing. I'm making it work. I'm basically trying to work harder than the next man. I am working harder than the next man. I don't ever test my focus. I make it happen.
Yes, sir. So for a rap artist, I imagine there's a huge difference between performing the songs live and recording them officially in the studio. When you're listening to your own music that has been recorded, what are you personally listening for?
Man, I always get that question because when I first heard my music, I was like, wow. I was like, I couldn't believe that's me. I was actually in the studio since I was like 13 years old, even 12, and I used to hang around a lot of pop artists because that's what my dad dealt with at the time. So he did a lot of music for pop artists, and I was like, yo, let me try my hand. Started rapping on the mic. I was like, yo, it's crazy. It sounds good. So I listened. So basically, I listen for my voice, my delivery, everything. I love the sound of the music when I come through and when I make it happen. Everything just sounds beautiful when it comes through orchestrated.
So you've been training since that age, and I see now why you're going straight for an album, is you've been basically around the music for a long, I wouldn't say a long time, but you've been around it to where you understand it.
Yeah, basically, I've been around a very long time, actually.
Yeah.
And, yep.
All right, so what does a song that you perform have to have in order for it to end up on your album?
For it to end up on my album, to me, whatever my people like, I give them, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm a type of person. I go in the studio, I will lay down every aspect of every song. Doesn't matter what it is, you know. For the ladies, party, anything, club, I'll make it happen, and I just keep them coming. And for me to perform it, that'll be a blessing.
Yeah. Okay. So since you mentioned that, in the case of writing in general, what does a song have to have in order for you to want to perform it live? I know some songs that we may come up with is not necessarily for the stage. What magic elements are you looking for when you put a song together that you say, okay, I want to take this one live?
Oh, most definitely when I'm sitting in the studio, I go through at least a dozen tracks, you know, and I don't choose them the same day, you know. Sometimes the track chooses me, I gotta sit there and I gotta feel it. So I take at least a whole day. I sit in the studio, you know, pad and everything, just listen, whatever touches me, whatever moves me. It's like, okay, that one, I'm gonna throw that one on, you know. I sit and vibe and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling it. And if I know it, if I'm moving and I'm like, you know, yeah, I'm hyped, yeah, that's that song right there. Yeah, that's it right there, you know. And I get busy and I do what I gotta do.
All right. So what mainstream artists or even indie artists do you think sound similar to you, or that you guys fall in like the same style or subject matter category?
Right now, I do not know. I do not know. Right now, I wouldn't say anybody right now.
Man,
wouldn't say anybody.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we can agree that there's much more quintessential Miami sound that runs through your music, can't we? And I hear hints of island music. Tell us about your beginnings and your background with island music.
Well, most definitely, my mother was a Trinidadian rap star, so she grew up in Trinidad, and she was one of the biggest female rappers coming out of there.
Oh wow!
And yeah, her name's Sister Ron. She came growing up. I used to hear her rap. She was like, come man. When I heard her for the first time, she first introduced me to her own music. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yo, this is crazy, you know. So she did that whole thing down in Trinidad. Came in, you know. She did her thing. So that, I mean, all of the Caribbean just does flow through my blood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that.
Definitely. So you fit right in with some of my absolute favorites from Miami. That being said, no matter what comparison I found or even made myself, it all ended up comparing you to artists that experienced a bulk of their excitement and following around the early millennium. Not, you know, putting an age on your music or anything, so don't get me wrong. It's certainly not uncommon for artists to grow up on music they love and end up sounding or being something similar themselves. That's a huge reason for the cynical nature of music, and exactly why decade after decade we see the rise and fall of genres that we love echoing the influence of where they come from all over again. But tell me about taking an old sound, and not, like I said, not necessarily saying that your music sound old, but taking an old sound. If you know, your dad is a producer, so he probably would know all about this, and you too, since you hung around. But taking an old sound and then making it something new again.
That's actually a big thing to me. I love it. Yeah, I love it. It's like, it's because when you do that, like even now, it's like something like to everybody's like something brand new. It's like, oh my God, like, yo, you hear this? I mean, and then on top of it, like, it's different. So it's like, oh wow. So it's like looking at me like, wow, and then he's running with it, and he's making it happen. I'm like, wow. So that's why I love at least something different. So even if it's old, new, I mix it, make it happen. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody got their different tastes. We'll see. You know, I just love it. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of that as well. What would make you sure that people out there would connect to your sounds?
There's billions of people in this world. Somebody, and I know somebody, will have the same mindset as you. Whatever you do in this world, there's millions and billions of people out here in this world. It's not just one person that says, hey, yeah, that's cool. Somebody in this world it has the same mindset as you. So, and there's a particular group in this world that likes what you do. All you got to do is work, and you got to find out who that group is, and then they'll follow you, and then, you know, you'll just work.
Yeah.
You just have to work.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So I was about a quarter or halfway through your single, Same Page, before I absolutely knew that I loved it. And that's a hell of a first impression. I won't lie to you. So I downloaded it immediately because I was positive I'll end up digging wherever comes next. So I'm clearly waiting on this album. And we clearly love a lot of the same sounds in rap. I suppose what I'm wondering is, what's the formula for adding your music to a track? I know you sit in the studio and vibe to the beat sometimes a day or two. But other than that, how does the writing comes into play?
Basically, I take well, first off, when I choose a track, I listen to a whole bunch of tracks. Now, I don't just keep my music based on one single sound. Like, I do everything. So if I choose a song, let's say particularly I want to make a song specific for women, you know, I basically, you know, put together a whole set, you know. I think about, first of all, what ladies like towards what they don't like, you know, and try to mix it, and just basically, I put it in a bubble, and I think of everything, you know, and then from right there, I start my writing process straight from the track. And then the elements in the track, you know, I sit there with my father sometimes, and sometimes he does it on his own because he wants it to be very well. But, you know, I'm very picky. When I'm in the studio as well, I'm like, nah, I want some strings here, I want the violins over there, you know, and, you know, but sometimes you gotta let people do their thing. But when I'm in there, I like to pick apart the track and put things in places as well.
Definitely. All right, I'm not even remotely kidding when I say that the single of yours is easy 5-5, 100% kind of record. You got even song written to perfection when it comes to hooks that pull us in to listen. Especially, I think it's called Coke Bottle Baby.
Coke Bottle Baby, yeah.
Yeah, that one was dope. And more than enough energy and a punch in the music to keep us interested. I always say I'm not here to be, you know, anybody's cheerleader, but there'd be no point in me telling you you're awesome if you're not really, you know. That doesn't help anyone. But the fact is, Tao, you are seriously kicking all the ass, in my opinion, when it comes to these kind of records. But here's the thing. It makes life more interesting in the sense that you've got some of the weirdest, hardest decisions to make as a result. Like, once you put out a record like Same Page, I'm wondering in your mind, do you ask yourself, what's the follow-up? Can the album stand up taller than the singles? You know, those kind of questions.
You know, yeah, those questions do come up a lot, especially in my mind. But for me, in order not to stress over that, in my head, I'm always gonna keep that mindset that okay, every song that I do, every song that I put out, I'm going to make it, at least try to make it a single in my head. So whatever I do, I'm going to make it the best song that I do and that I can do. So that way I don't have that mindset is what I can follow up with and what may sound good or not. You know? Mm-hmm. So that's always been my mindset with my music, period.
It's dope. So what about from your collection of songs that you had already? How on earth did you justify that same page over the others when they all could have potential to be hits out there? How did you go with that one first?
I went with that one first because I actually had, like, I put a lot of feelings into my music. Coke Bottle Baby I was actually having fun with that. I was in the studio. I was just like, yo, let me just, you know, I was having fun. I was like, okay. I was like, yo, what if we did something about Coke Bottle? I mean, like, women love being called Coke Bottle. They love their shape. I was like, man, let me throw something together. I was like, yeah. Then the same page, I actually had, like, a lot of feelings in the same page because I was actually, like, going through, like, relationships and all that stuff. And I just love all the little things in relationships that people go through. So I was like, let me throw that together, you know. And I actually chose that one overall because I just love it. I just want to express my feelings towards all kinds of relationships and feelings all through the song. Just want other people to hear it.
Good. So what are you listening for in your own music that tells you that you've got a song exactly the way that you wanted it?
I always listen for my lyrics and my placement. I'm very sensitive about that. When I'm listening, I did everything else, don't get me wrong, I do listen for it, but it will come last. I listen for my lyrics. If my lyrics aren't right, then I gotta do it over. I gotta, you know, it's just not. It's just because that's why I said I like one Eminem. Eminem was one of my favorite writers as I was growing up. 12 years old, 13 years old, sitting on the bus going to middle school. You know, I'm listening, like, because he places his words like puzzles, and he puts them in particular ways and makes them, like, I love that. And the fact that I love puzzles, that, you know, try to fit the words here and there. So I'm listening, like, when I listen for my lyrics. I'm like, okay, this could go here, what can go better, you know, what word can I use, what synonym, you know, don't overuse some words. That's a particular way that I look in my music, at least to make it better as well.
Yeah. All right, you have officially reached the Vigilantes Radio open floor, Tao. Thank you once again for putting up with all my rambling questions and taking the time to talk with us about your music and Same Page. We are definitely looking forward to hearing what you come out with next and wish you all the best in the summer of 2017 and beyond. So take this next moment to talk about anything else that we didn't cover in the interview that you would have wanted to talk about. Or feel free to send out some love to the people or fans that support you. It's all up to you, so say whatever you like, my friend.
I just wanted to say where I grew up from. I was born in New York. You know, I partly grew up in New York, partly grew up in Atlanta, and also in Miami. Currently, right now, I'm in Miami. So mad love to everybody right now and everybody out there. I just want to say, whoever's chasing a dream, you got to keep chasing it. Don't listen to nobody. Literally, you got to get up and you got to do what you got to do. Everybody's mouth is going to keep on talking, but yours, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Mad love.
Definitely. Yo, you're from like all three of the music meccas, except for Cali. Florida,
Yeah.
and New York. Man, I can't wait for this album.
Yeah, I grew up, and I literally grew up musically based from all of them, from all different parts. I've been trying to head out to Cali for the longest, you know.
Oh man, you gotta get out there, bro.
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah, I got a second home there, and that's why I have a second home there now. Because when I went, I didn't want to leave, and everything was so, right there. So yeah, man, you have to experience Cali at least once or twice.
Most definitely, I have to.
Definitely. So after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It's called the hot seat, and our fans love this part of the segment. And of course, along with the actual interview, but the audience get to hear either some good old singing, maybe a poem, inspirational speech, spoken word, freestyle rap. Maybe you want to recite some lyrics or tell a joke. He maybe even have a good story for us, a live instrument. She said, he said he was in relationships, and he's a ladies' man, so I'm sure he has a lot of stories. But you get to choose what you want to do. From our special guest, well, you never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in the spotlight. And today we'll find out if Tao have what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. But for now, let's play Tao Same Page. We'll be right back.
Same legend.
I caught her off the gram and comfortable with my decision. And I ain't get no invite, DM with no permission. My life is love and laid out, Louis Chanel laid out. She said she know the struggle and poverty is played out. So give me recognition, I'm keying your ignition. Them other chicks don't move me, can't play me opposition. You listening to Breezy, I'm blumping classic Weezy. My Lamborghini's baby blue like I was young Jeezy. I'm yatted and I'm flavored, and all my keys is major. See, all my stress is minor, and all my clothes designer. Catch us on a Saturday in Aventura, poppin' tags, rolling up that 95, whipping in that brand new Jag. Shorty, it's like we writing on the same page. It's like we riding on the same wave. It's like we moving on the same vibe. You and me together, one same mind. It's like we writing on the same page. It's like we riding on the same wave. It's like we're moving on the same vibe. You and me together, one same mind. So when you play my song, hit that explicit version and never play yourself. My cloth authentic Persian. Balmain and new Margellas, you in Balenciagas. You never feeling jealous. I'm standing right beside you. Don't press me about them shorties. They're 9 and you are 40. That means you breaking scales. Just hold it down for me. Rose is on rotation. She love that 50 Cent. And when we get along, it's like it's heaven sent. Sometimes I play that Hova. She says she love Beyonce. Right now I'm feeling Riri, and you my new fiance. Rocking that new Versace and moving through the city. My fans they say they love me. My exes say they miss me. You say you love her when I feel me, cause I'm cavalier. Red carpet strolling on that crimson, we could take it there. Need to buy a crib in Calabasas over there by Dre. Sitting on my balcony, dining on red velvet cake. Steak is only fed with grass, you know I take care of my body. Play your cards right and you might wake up in a new Bugatti. And I know you got me, and you know I got you. No need to bear that weight, I'm here to spot you. Shorty, it's like we writing on the same page. It's like we riding on the same wave. It's like we moving on the same vibe. You and me together, one same mind. It's like we writing on the same page. It's like we riding on the same wave. It's like we moving on the same vibe. You and me together, one same mind. Yeah. Man, these shorties know, man. We out here riding.
All right, and we are back again. That was Tao Same Page. Dope track, like I said before. All right, when some part of your life disappoints you, turn it around. Turn your disappointment into determination. If your effort is not moving you in a desired direction, turn it around. Learn from what has not worked and gain new insight on what will work. Anytime someone is rude, unpleasant to you, turn it around. Be the stronger one who puts respect, consideration, tolerance, politeness into the situation. When there is confusion, disarray, ambiguity, turn it around. By adding focus and positive direction, you can add some great value. There is much energy in every person, place, and situation or idea that you encounter. And there is always much you can do to point that energy toward a beneficial outcome. Instead of complaining or running away from a negative situation or making it an excuse, take the better option and turn it around. Take it from me, Dini. So let's bring the man of the hour back on. Tao, what do you have for us today?
Got you right here. I'm on that Michael off the wall tonight. I'm feeling thriller. She on that Tory Lanez and mixing up with Bryson Tiller. We like Brianni's and Barney's and Christian Louboutins. That porterhouse is so heavy. She on filet mignon. We got it floating on. I'm like a fashionista, except I'm brolic and tatted. I'm moving like Batista. You couldn't envision my vision because I'm a visionary. And I ain't got no competition, no contemporaries. We in that city sliding. We on that beach riding. Shorty, me and you a spark. Two worlds colliding. My self-esteem make me send her my vision. And when she opened up so clean, I hit the spot with precision. I got that transmission hitting like German engineering. I got control on my phone, on the dial of my steering. I'm on that Sade, love is stronger than pride. We go to war, win or lose, stay at my side.
Oh, that was smooth too. That was smooth.
One time,
yeah. Yeah, I got the vision. You can't vision. Uh-oh. And also special thanks to our guest, Tao, for joining us. You never know, Dean may just end up on one of his songs.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, the app called Podcast Addict, or our website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or send something for us to play, email it to theradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, something you got to deal with. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, dini-mussolini, I appreciate you guys for tuning in either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. And also special thanks to our guests for joining us. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr. We are all over. Just connect with us and we do follow back. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely freaking great at just doing that. Peace.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.